Start up stream, start up. There we go. Okay. Okay, it is showing up, but it's not showing up in the party. Is that where we're at? Party chat on. How about now? Everybody chime in. Alright. So, this is first episode of Party Chat, ladies and gentlemen. So, obviously you have me, Goodbeard. Who wants to introduce themselves next?
Silence. I guess. I am PSM. Goodbeard's brother. You know.
You sure about this? I mean,
that's just
Anthem.
And goes Avenger 96 here.
indicator is ready to go.
And the person who more than likely will not be here every time.
Remember, these tests are tracked down.
I'm good.
Make sure
I'm pretty massive.
stay healthy. You understand? Got it. Keep an eye out.
He is immense. He is level 27 in this game already.
Incoming. You see every time.
So our discussion topic is the roadmap that got released today. Anybody other than me and Thomas look at it? Me and Ghost look at it. Sorry.
I glanced at it.
So the first thing that popped up with is the recurring updates that we'll see every week. So quality of life updates, you know, usual stuff, you know, making sure everything in the game still runs. Fixes and stuff like that. Pretty essential, right?
Don't make animals angry. Science, what can you do?
Basically.
Yeah, I mean, no weekly alliance. It kind of outline the weekly alliance. Daily, weekly, monthly challenges, which if you walked around Fort Tarsus, you've seen this.
Definitely a good amount of them.
I'm sure, Taylor, is that what you were working on earlier?
What?
What were you working on earlier?
There's a quest we'll get in where we have to go to grave sites and like temples and we get stuff. But the what are we talking about? Sorry, I was focused on the fight.
Okay, so other than that, there's the Prospero store refreshes every week also. So with the release, the roadmap shows that we've got 3 free play events. So they're Outlaw Outrage, which I don't know if I've played. There Be Giants, which I know we've all played. We've killed one Titan. That was that free play event that we did. Was that last night or the night before?
I think it was last night.
Yeah, that was last night.
That was last night? Okay, so what are our thoughts on There Be Giants? Do you think there's some replayability, or is it just, hey, here's
I liked it.
You liked it?
Kill big dude.
I mean, like, a comparison like to Destiny, it just seems like a normal public event almost. So, I mean, once in a while, it'll just, after you've played it enough,
You just kind of
like, it'd be nice if, like, yeah, possibly.
Understood.
I think that makes sense. Because, like, yeah, I think it'll be fun to a point, but then, I'm gonna try to call everybody by their gamer tags, so, no, I'm not, screw that. Landon.
Yeah.
Have you done, you're the level 27, have you done anything, and like, so this mission is set to hard right now, so have you done anything, like, harder than hard difficulty yet, or?
You have to be level 30 to activate Grandmaster.
Alright, so you have to be level 30 to even activate Grandmaster 1.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Okay,
Is that
so
what's next after hard?
Yes, go.
Yeah, after hard it's Grandmaster 1, and Grandmaster 2, and Grandmaster 3.
So we have
Right.
like no idea what the difficulty looks like after hard, but we can assume it's
Still
you
getting
know.
that signal?
Lots of gear. I've seen pictures of people who've like gotten like really high up. Like, there's a guy on Twitter. He was able to. By the way, there's lore right here. He opens one chest and he gets like 3 masterworks and like 5 epics out of it, and that kind of
You see?
that's kind of nuts.
It's gonna be a fight.
Considering I've only ever gotten
And this
one.
was from Grandmaster 1 or 3?
I'm not sure what he
Yes,
did.
I've been acquainted with
I imagine it was probably Grandmaster 3. Like the color that dropped out of that.
munitions around here. Take
Okay.
care of that.
I mean, I would assume from what endgame in most games is that it'd be extra gear, but also like probably enemies with higher health, stuff like that. So that's probably. I mean, I'm sure there'll be.
It's
plenty
honestly
of,
good though that they have something that'll be as like it'll get difficult as it goes on. It's like we're not allowed to instantly just go right into that difficulty.
we actually.
Well, I
You
mean,
do
you
have
have
to
to
like
be-
actually get to a certain level.
They also recommend you be like 400 power by the time you go try and do Grandmaster 1, and then 450 for Grandmaster 2, and 475 I think for 3.
Do
So
we know
it's
what the
like-
max
so-
level is?
Yeah, I was gonna say
It's 500.
500. Alright. That was gonna be my next
Well,
question: is how do we think
Many
the
dangerous scars in the area. This is bad business.
like the equivalent? So the equivalent of like our light level in this, since we're all Destiny players, the equivalent of our light level
I'd
is
say
the power level with.
I'd say Destiny veterans.
I'd say Destiny veterans too.
I mean,
But, like-
granted, in Destiny 2, it is power. It's power instead of light level.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
So
what same thing, but whatever.
what do we think we're gonna be looking at as far as like cap increases for new content drops and stuff like that when they come out with their free updates after each cataclysm? Which
I don't
Um,
think they would honestly increase the level right
Well,
away at least.
I mean, they're their own game. They don't have to like, they can do whatever they want. They can like raise the power like 500 at a time. Cause like there's no like limit on how much power you can gain in like
See what I can do.
a week. Like you can go like 24 hours and you can basically hit level 30 if you really wanted to.
Well,
I
like
think
for
that's
like
it.
for the main
Everybody
level
calls
though, like yeah, it's level 30, but
Freelancer.
with me just playing today, I've already gotten up past 100, like what would be power.
Arcanists are safe.
yeah, and I'm like,
Like it wasn't that hard for me to get that high up.
Already done.
yeah, I'm
You see,
sitting-
like, the cool thing about it is your components that you get, you unlock once you're, like, as you level up your main, like, class, not, like, your, like, power. The more components you unlock, the more, like, you can add, like, 30 power at a time to your, power.
Freelancer,
yeah,
Way.
if you can get, if you
And
can
that's
get
one of
that
the
gear.
things.
you get over there. You hear me?
That's one of the things that I'm really liking about this, as compared to Destiny, is Destiny you can only go up so much light in 1 week. Like example, when I was grinding up my hunter, I did go up like nearly 150 light in a single week. That was because I was getting increased like light gear with every single drop because I had powerful weapons on.
Taylor, I
Yeah.
think you're having a few problems with your mic, by the way.
Yeah, yeah, something
You're kind of cutting in
a
now.
little patchy.
He was fine for me. It was fine for me. But I think the cool thing is like you have a character like under the suit. That is your character. Like you can go like from being like a Storm to Colossus, Interceptor, Ranger, whatever you feel like playing, and only sacrifice maybe a little bit of power because you can just transfer your weapons and the components that you get are transferable to most of your other javelins as well. Like if you get like an ammo component, you can put that in. And like with my storm, I'm I don't know like 300 pretty power.
Well-
But I basically made a Colossus, and he's already like 300 power, like right off, like just starting it.
Well, like, that's the thing, like, we're comparing this game to Destiny a lot, but we gotta remember this isn't Destiny.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
I
we know.
wasn't comparing it.
Like, because, like, when you have, like, when it comes to Destiny, you have Titan, Hunter, and Warlock. And each one, they had you go through all the story missions and everything again. While in this one, it's just like creating your class, basically. That's all you're doing.
Yeah, I feel like
You just change what class you're playing as, but you stay to the same missions.
so like I think you could say that in Anthem you have like it's kind of like a create a class system in Call of Duty where you can have like I'm not saying like hey this is Call of Duty create a loadout, but you can do that though. You can create 5 different loadouts for each javelin you have. You can have once you hit a certain level all 4 javelins.
Yeah. The talent's big guy.
There we go.
Big guy too.
Here, hold on. I hit him with the living flame. Hit him with that combo. There you go.
But so yeah, the first part of the roadmap is to get back on track with that. the first part of the roadmap is February 2019, which is obviously where we're at right now, and it has the 3 free play events. One of which I think Shaper Surge and Outlaw Outrage I haven't played yet, but I also have like 4 hours in the game so far, so that would be part of the reason why I haven't played that much. But to move into the more interesting part of the roadmap, when you go to, if you look at the March 2019, so I think that's technically the first month because of like the 90-day changes, because you know it's February right now, so I don't really count that.
Well, they have everything marked up to all the way into May. Like, they have already some things on what they're doing in May, but there's still a lot of it that's also, like, still needs to be talked about. Like, it's still not there yet.
Yeah.
They haven't
so
released what it fully is.
I think that's well, because that would be 90 days. That's 3 months right there. So with March, we have new cosmetics for the Elysian Stronghold caches, which I haven't done any Strongholds yet, obviously. And
I also like that there's new gear every month.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
pretty neat.
And that's what I was gonna go to next. Is there's new items added in March, and then there will also be phase 1 of these new legendary missions. So what do you guys think is gonna come with the legendary missions?
I mean, guaranteed it's gonna be, obviously, as you said, new legendary gear, but I just really hope maybe with new legendary missions we could get new enemy types, because, and if there's anything I want more of, is enemy types, because I love killing a lot of different ships.
Yeah, well, and there are the...
Well, the problem with that, though, is that, like, you gotta remember, this game just came out. They're not gonna bring out a whole brand new enemy. Maybe a different named enemy, like specific enemy, but not new type. Like, there's the Scar, there's the Outlaws. Like,
There's already
you
a
just
new
have all-
enemy, like, in the works. Kinda.
Well, there may be already a new enemy in the works, but I don't think we're gonna get that soon.
I've seen it. Not alive, but I've seen it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Landon here he's pretty far up there in the story, so he's seen some other things. But then
I'm not gonna ruin anything for you.
Yeah. So looking past that, though, still in March, it shows one new free play event, and it shows on the Anthem. So on the Anthem website, it shows that it just says Cortex locked. So I don't know if that means that
It's
You
to
have
be
to have-
announced.
It's redacted. It's redacted. Like
It's
it's like
redacted.
stuff that
Redacted.
redacted. Yeah.
Redacted.
Yeah, I have here. It's just to be announced. That's all it is.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it says in the IGN article too. So, I mean, yeah, that's whatever. And then when you move into April, obviously there's those new rewards, some more free play events being added. So we'll have a big list of free play events. But then the thing that looks cool to me is the expanded progression. So they're expanding the progression to have a mastery system in April. So it'll be, I mean, to me that sounds like not to be like, hey, it's gonna like it's gonna be something like Destiny, but it definitely seems like it's gonna be something along the lines of like masterwork cores, essentially, is what I think.
Well, I think it's talking about like, so when you use a weapon, right? Like you have the scout. You get enough kills with it, you're gonna get Scout 1 done, which is like killed like 10 enemies with like a random gun. That's any gun. Then you get Scout 2. Well, sorry, like when you get Scout 1 completed, it gives you the blueprint in order to make the uncommon version of the Scout. When you complete Scout 2, you get the rare version of it, and I just completed Scout 3. That makes the epic version of it, but after that, there's no other like thing you can do. Like the challenges for it are gone. It just stops at Scout 3 for now, anyway. So I imagine it's like, oh yeah, you can do another one and make it so you can get masterwork stuff, maybe, or legendary. I think you said legendary.
Well, yeah, it says expanded progression and then mastery. So I would assume there would be like like the closest thing that I could think of to compare it to would be like masterworking, like your weapons in Destiny and stuff like that. Like that's the first thing that
Yeah.
that's the first
Except
thing
it,
that
like
comes
you
to
make
mind.
the weapon. And I,
Yeah.
I love like how like every gun's different pretty much because it rolls with a different like set of perks on it too. Like this gun I got gives me armor, which doesn't make sense, but it does, and it's really nice like for it's really nice for Storm because you know your shield's pretty much the only thing you have because once your shield goes down, your health is pretty much nothing.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Well,
Yeah.
that's like that for those characters, but for like the Colossus though, he's all health, and his shield is basically his actual handheld shield.
Yeah.
That's all he
Question.
has.
Did you guys pick up your legendary like scout and stuff?
From like the pre-order bonus.
Yeah.
I haven't.
I did for some reason.
You go talk
I didn't
to,
give it to Connor.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
Like,
you
it's
wanna know
not
why I
there
didn't
for
give
him.
it? No, okay. So if someone else pre-orders the game, like Taylor, did you buy it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Connor, you're not gonna get the pre-order bonus because I didn't get the pre-order bonus.
That's whatever.
Sad
Ryan and
days.
Megan. There you go.
I mean, it's whatever.
Continuing on.
So, continuing on with the roadmap so we can get through that part. It just says there's the mastery system progression and then new items. And this is all in April. And then there will be all of the existing free play events will still be there. And there will be phase 2 released of legendary missions. So we'll get more legendary missions and then they will add weekly stronghold challenges. They will add leaderboards and two things that I think will be really exciting, especially for us by that time. We'll have probably all the strongholds finished and we'll probably be working on trying to beat them at a higher level. And I think if Thomas is looking at the same thing that I am, there's a new stronghold getting added in April called the Sunken.
Mm-hmm.
So that sounds pretty eerie and cool to me.
I would agree.
I mean, it honestly sounds like See, I was thinking about this, about like fighting underwater for like times, like certain times you're in the mission.
Mm-hmm.
That would almost sound like that's kind of what it is.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I really don't think there's like a lot of playability with water, like so far.
Which,
Yeah, it's
I
mostly
think,
just,
just
like, exploration.
sometimes they have to go into it. Yeah.
sure. I mean, I think they probably what it is they know that. They know that there's not like, yeah, we can fly through the water and whatever, but that's about as extensive as it gets. So then more than likely, yeah, I think it's going to be something like a stronghold that takes place completely underwater, and maybe it'll have some sort of mechanic where we have to like I don't even know if you have to focus on oxygen or anything like that when you're underwater.
Yeah, you have to.
Man, I am dying right now. But yeah, I mean,
like a cool idea would maybe be like if you have to do so much damage to like a boss to be able to get back up and breathe after a certain amount of time. If you don't, you'll die.
yeah.
Like that'd be
sense.
kind of cool, I think.
And
Oh,
then
the air bubbles from Mario.
air bubbles from Mario. Ew, yeah. But the other thing that I'm really excited about that's coming in April is guilds.
Yeah, it's definitely something a lot of people are probably going to want to get into right away, but I wonder what it'll bring, like, with it. Like, yeah, there's guilds, but, like, are there going to be more rewards for, like, being in a guild? Is there going to be something
Yeah, 'cause
you
it's-
get for doing is there going to be, like, guild events? Like, what is there going to be?
I mean, you already get like coin for having friends in general,
Yeah, for
which
the
is actually
weekly,
like a really good feature.
yeah, the weekly alliance bonus or whatever it's called. And then
So that's why I'm wondering, like, if there's that already, what's the guild's going to be then?
I have a feeling that the guilds will be something like more or less along the lines of not rewards for like loyalty or like an alliance, like kind of with the alliance. Basically, you get money each week for playing the game. So it's just like an extra way to earn money, extra way to earn some gear from what I've noticed.
Great. It's like we're earning wages.
Yeah, it's like
I haven't
Ouch.
friends.
it's like we're getting extra money and loot for having friends. Which, I mean, I'm okay with that. But then
Well, they definitely showed in this game is that they kind of want you always playing with someone.
Search for any links
Yeah.
that remain.
definitely.
Here, but no link to collect.
So that's all good stuff. And then where I'm gonna
Like
stop.
especially,
Some more gear here.
Oh, go ahead.
Serviceable, but no links again.
like especially when like along the lines of it always wants you playing with friends. Earlier today, I was just trying to do some missions by myself, and it literally kind of yelled at me and be like, "Are you sure you want to do this by yourself?
First,
You want to have buddies? Change this to public." And I was like, "But I just want to do it by myself." So it promotes like cooperation and camaraderie, which is really nice.
Yeah, I feel like I played a mission by myself and I felt earlier today, and I felt like it would have been more tailored to have like a full group of 4 players doing it, because there's that many enemies running around, and then like the big boss that I had to fight at the end, like it just would have been easier if I had that an extra body or two to throw at the enemy, so I wasn't fighting everything by myself.
But no,
Hey, by the way, we got a trials thing over here.
Gear was found.
Looks like you gotta do certain things to unlock this. I didn't notice this before. Oh, it's one of the trials for that, okay. So I gotta do 3 more world events.
I was gonna say that sounds like what Taylor was talking about before.
Yeah.
Got a link here.
I knew
Anybody got a marksman rifle to take out that outlaw trooper up here?
They will
Or...
keep coming.
I got him.
I do.
Where?
I just gotta. Jesus.
Hey, can someone come up to me quickly and... Okay, I had an outlaw gunner up here who was glitched in the ground. He got out.
Fun stuff. So, the last part of the roadmap that I want to talk about is
We'll need to figure this out
what
later.
starts in May, because everything else in May,
Outlaws,
and obviously Tom's looked at it, so, or is looking at it as well. There's, it just says Cataclysm starts, so that's when we're looking at that first Cataclysm we're going to be, that we're basically leading up to right now. And then everything else is basically to be announced. We have no idea what it is.
Yeah,
I want this.
Bunch there.
I want this Cataclysm to be absolutely huge.
See, and I think it's going to be, because when it... Go ahead, Landon.
Well, like with the Cataclysm, there's also the storms that happen as well. Like they're like, do you remember like playing the demo? There was the storm. It basically makes like the environment like more hazardous. Like there's more Titans around in the area. There's like more Ursics. There's more world events.
So it'd be kind of comparable to like in Fallout 76, when you drop a nuke in a certain area, all the enemies become 10 times harder.
I mean, kinda, yeah.
I mean, that makes sense to me, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't play that, so I don't. Whatever.
How did they know to come here? How?
Because I am a spy. That's how they
But
So, yeah,
as far
but
as I
I-
know, one thing I've been noticing though is like it makes sense too, is that they're really focusing on like for this month and next month. Like they're not giving us a whole lot right away because they're probably clearly going to try to fix any problems that come
Oh yeah,
up,
I
or
mean,
as many as
I've already
they
come
can.
up on a few glitches, bugs that I know will probably be fixed within like a week's time. But
Which is expected.
Occasionally when reloading, I can fire off a couple of rounds in the middle.
Yeah, I did that earlier today, and I was like, hey, that's interesting. I don't think that's supposed to happen.
hey, what'd you do?
While reloading, like while in reloading animation, I was using my first marksman's rifle, and I just fired off like 2 bursts in the middle of reloading.
Oh yeah.
Were you holding the trigger to actually fire, or did
No.
you just do it randomly?
It just did it.
Yeah, they just fire sometimes.
So,
I've only seen it really happen with like the assault rifle that fires like a 4 burst.
He did great things.
Yeah, it's usually one of the burst weapons.
Look up. Bring me the links you recovered.
So,
Their stories
But
are
there's a
after
mission
this-
that is oh wait, I have an achievement. Oh.
after this mission, once we get in the launch bay, we'll wrap this video up with us all sharing our thoughts on how we think Anthem is so far. Because I wanna try to avoid these episodes being an hour long unless it's literally that big of a discussion topic. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm sure we wouldn't run into that
Yeah,
many.
on that.
yeah. So but just to finish up the roadmap, I guess in May we'll have that first Cataclysm. There'll be more new items, new missions, new free play event, and then so that's all everything that is happening from now until May is part of Act 1 of Anthem. So they've got the whole game like split up into acts. So
You also
obviously,
got to
We'll be
remember,
busy for a little
there are some things that could change.
yeah.
Make
and
sure
this-
you're going to launch bay, by the way, or else you're gonna go back to Port Tarson's.
Yes. But yeah, so this is just a tentative like roadmap. Like this is all subject to change, which I think is great. Like, I don't
They
want
could
it,
add stuff whenever they need to.
yeah, I don't want it to be something that's super definite.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, I guess it's like cons, pros, both in the same field.
Yeah. And then, so while we're loading in, I will have Landon, since he is level 27. He can share, without any spoilers, share his thoughts on first couple days of Anthem.
Fun game. Kind of, I don't like, I both like and dislike the, what are they called? Where you, like, reinforce a group, pretty much. Because you pretty much just, like, go and join someone and get free XP. I mean, it kind of gets away from the grind, but at the same time, it kind of, like, helps you grind up. Like, I wouldn't be level 27 without, like, the, reinforcement. Granted, with the end game, you have to go reinforce. Like, it's kind of cool. Like, once you beat the game, they give you like this this challenge. It's not a spoiler. I swear to God, it's not a spoiler. They have you like have this big challenge at the end where you have to like basically go like reinforce other people, go do strongholds, like go do world events, and it basically makes it so you go back and help like people who haven't beaten the game yet, which is kind of cool. I like that it's like your armor's cosmetic, and your gear is what makes you like powerful. And there's like 5 different abilities per like for Storm, like seals, and then yeah, it's also like super replayable as well. Fun.
Mm.
Also, I'm pretty massive.
Well, we know
all.
that you're a big massive. So, Taylor, what are your initial thoughts?
I'm really liking it. I'm having trouble finding out which javelin I really want to stick to and, you know, being with for the long haul, because with the interceptor, I don't know, I kind of just don't like it. And then Storm, I enjoy the play style of it, and explosions of elemental damage with ice, fire, and lightning. But the shields, like, I'm like getting down too much, and I don't like that. So for me, it's really just figuring out which javelin I want to use. But other than that, real fun.
Alright, and Thomas, how about you?
And so far, it's been a pretty good game, I think. It's just, like, the things that I do like about it are, like, how you can, again, it goes back to, like, working with your teammates and trying to play with other people so you can combo with them. Like, the game, they like the fact that the game's kind of wrapping around, again, to being with allies, having someone there with you. Then, going to what Taylor was saying, talking about the other javelins, like, so far I've really only ever played the Colossus, and I've played a little bit of the Ranger.
Hey Connor, ignore
But-
this one. Send me an invite real quick. I got booted.
But continuing on, it's just, like, I'm definitely going to want to play Colossus through the entire game at first, and then how I'll probably go about the other javelins is then I'll kind of work my way into playing with those a little more. But for now, I'll probably stick with Colossus, and I'll like it that way.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But overall, good game, right?
I'd say so, yeah.
So, I think I'm the one out of this group that's had the least amount of playtime on it, but still I'm not much, I don't have much less than Thomas or Taylor, but, I mean, unlike Taylor, I like the Interceptor. I think it's fun. Speedy Boy is a good time. I like zip-zooping and bopping all over the place and cutting shit up. And I like that we have the option to have a single character that can swap between all 4 javelins, so maybe one day I'm feeling like I want to be a big tanky boy and run around as Colossus, and then the next day maybe I want to be space magic and shock stuff as a storm. Like
Magic.
I have that option to just switch to whatever I want, and I like that. And I like the guns. The guns feel good. The game just feels good in general. The stories, like, the characters are hilarious.
If I could add something, the one thing that I've really liked about this too is that there aren't that many games that have you go out into a world and play with other people and not have to like play. And it's a game that doesn't have any really PvP version.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I like. So many games are just based around PvP or have some kind of version, while this one is mainly focused on playing with your friends and not having to worry about other players.
And that's where I was actually going too, is I was gonna say that I'm looking forward to seeing if with the guild system they come up with some sort of like guild wars, that it might not be direct like player versus player, it could be, but maybe just something as simple as like you just compete to see what guild can, like, and I would assume it, if they did something like what I'm about to describe, it would be like more in like a there's like some sort of ranking system for your guild based off of your members and your like your members level and stuff like that, so there'd be like different tiers, so it wouldn't be like a teeny tiny guild made up of 4 people would go up in a guild, like would be in a guild war against a guild with like 100 players that have all the time in the world to play. But it would be something where like the guild that wins the guild war has like the most kills in like a set amount of time, or has completed the most strongholds, or completed a certain amount of challenges, like stuff like that that doesn't require you to, you know, be pit against another player, is what I'm thinking. But yeah, overall I like the game so far. It's fun to, like, I'm just, as I'm talking, I'm just running around in circles in the launch bay, jumping up and down, because it's fun.
Well, that's the thing, like, you can do a lot of, too, is that after every mission you complete, usually there'll be something that you can do in Fort Tarsus. Like, you can go talk to someone and have a conversation with them, and then possibly unlock new stuff from doing that. Or you can go around and just finding, like, the lore, or would it be adding to the cortex, just hidden around Fort Tarsus, and it looks like every time I've gone around it, there's something new hidden somewhere.
Yeah, yeah. Alright, well, that's all we got for, that's all I really had to talk about for this episode, was our first impressions of the game and the roadmap, pretty much. So we'll plan on one episode of Party Chat a week. If we want to make another, we can. There's no limit. So yeah, that's it. Yep. I was gonna say, is everybody just gonna sit there silent, or we're gonna actually end this video with a goodbye?
I was gonna say, you're out?
Yeah, we're gonna wrap this up. Big old present, send it on to YouTubes.
Oh my god, is that it?
First one.
Send that.
Just gonna send it. Alright. Until next time, boys.